Hi, it's Ed again. So I want to talk about drugs, specifically Mexican drugs, and more specifically Mexican drugs versus Mark Cuban's cost-plus drugs.
My name's Ed. After an alarming visit to the doctor, I decided to take a new path. More travel, more experiences, and share what I learned. Welcome to the Tao of Ed.
Now, if you don't know about cost-plus drugs, this is a project that Mark Cuban's working on, and one of the most notable projects that I think is not talked about enough. I think that what Mark Cuban has done, number one, it's frustrating that I haven't seen anyone else tackle this in this way. And it just, not that I don't think Mark Cuban's brilliant, but I think it took more than brilliance to do. I think it took someone who isn't out to hurt people almost, who actually wants to help people to do this, because cost plus drugs, by all means, is going to save countless lives. I think what he's done here is he's made prescription medication truly affordable, especially to people who don't have insurance. A lot of the times I look at the cost of the drugs that he's selling on the site, and it's cheaper than even the copay if you do have insurance. It is phenomenal. And the business model itself is transparent. That's when I say it's clear, it's transparent. 15% overhead, 50% margin, I should say, is what he's charging on these drugs. So, and he says, here's what we get the price for, here's what we get the drugs for, here's the price, and then here is our 15%. We charge $3 to handle the drug, to get everything, all the fees and everything, and then we charge a flat $5 for shipping, regardless of where you are in the country. This is a breakthrough in drug prices, and it's frustrating that it's taken so long for someone to do something so common sense. And it's not that I don't think that Mark Cuban is a brilliant guy, like I said. I just think that he must be on a mission, to actually do something amazing and also build a good business while he's doing it. So, as great as that is, I wanted to compare that to something that I'm in a unique position to compare it to, and that is, since I'm in Mexico, the price of drugs in Mexico. Now, if you've ever been to Tijuana or possibly any other border towns, when you go across, there is a ton of signage, a ton of deals, a ton of pharmacies looking to sell you prescription medication. And it makes sense because it's so much cheaper in Mexico than it is the States, and also a lot of the medication they're not going to require you to get a prescription for. So, for example, I'm on a blood pressure medication that was prescribed to me by a Mexican doctor a long time ago. I don't go to him as often as I should, but I do keep on the medication, but I don't have an active prescription in the United States for it. So I tend to buy it here. And those pills are relatively cheap. And I'm going to get down to that one at the end here and just kind of tell you what it benefits me. And I think what you're going to be amazed with is when you compare the incredibly low prices of drugs in Mexico to the prices on cost-plus drugs, which is available to anyone with a prescription in the U.S. Now, granted, you need a prescription, and that requires you to go to a doctor, obviously, and that may require you to have insurance or pay an upfront bill. There are far too many uninsured people in the United States, and that makes for a challenge. But that being said, even if you weren't insured, to go to a doctor, maybe it's going to be under $100, like $65 for a visit, to get a prescription for a while, and to go order through cost plus drugs is still going to be affordable, and that's what I want to show you here today. So what I did is I picked a handful of drugs that I know are popular both on cost plus drugs and are popular here in Mexico. And excuse me if I butcher the name of some of these. I'm not a pharmacist or a physician, so some of these are really foreign to me. Albendazole, which from what I understand is to fight off infections. You get 200 milligrams and a packet of 2. Now, in Mexico, it's $15, and that's no prescription. Just go in and pick it up. On cost plus drugs, now keep in mind, I'm factoring in the cost of the shipping and the cost of the processing. So that's $8 added to the cost of this. So there is that. It's $20. So $20 in cost plus drugs versus $15 in Mexico. Then let's take a look at another one, lisinopril, which is the generic version of Prinavil. I believe it's a heart medication or a blood pressure medication. Anyways, 10 milligrams, and it's a very common one. It's been around for a long time. 10 milligrams Cost plus drugs is 4 cents. Mexico is 7 cents per pill. So now I did keep in mind that sometimes cost plus drugs sells higher dosages. So what I did is in those situations, I say, okay, if you cut the pill in half or whatever, here's how much the dosage would cost. You get a pill cutter, you cut it in half. A lot of people do that. And actually, if you notice in Mexico, a lot of times they sell the higher dosage because that's what people here do. It's cheaper, and it's just cheaper to cut the pill in half and save a lot of money. So, but still, 4 cents versus 7 cents, and that's with the cost of shipping and everything per pill. That's almost half the price on cost plus drugs than it is in Mexico. Fluoxetine, which is the generic Prozac, 20 milligrams. This is remarkable. In Mexico, about $1.50, $1.49. Okay? Cost plus drugs, 21 cents. 21 cents on cost plus drugs for 20 milligrams of Prozac. Now, you may have to cut that in part or something, but that's what it breaks down to. So if you're on prescription for 20 milligrams of Prozac per day, it's going to cost you 21 cents on cost plus drugs. That is phenomenal. Finasteride, which is the generic Propecia, very popular drug down here for balding. 5 milligrams. And now, keep this in mind, 5 milligrams is about 5 times what a doctor will put you on for balding, for hair loss. 5 milligrams, I think, is what they give you if you're trying to do some sort of prostate medication or something. But anyways, 5 milligrams of finasteride in Mexico will cost you 26 cents. On cost plus drugs, 17 cents. That's 17 cents per pill for a drug that makes sure you don't go bald. Sertraline, which is the generic Zoloft, 50 milligrams. On cost plus drugs, 8 cents per 50 milligrams. In Mexico, 24 cents. It's a statin, it's Lipitor. Okay, so Lipitor helps with cholesterol, I believe. 40 milligrams, cost plus drugs, 16 cents. Mexico, 52 cents. 16 cents versus 52 cents. Tadalafil, which is generic Cialis, an erectile dysfunction medication. I think daily Cialis is like 5 milligrams, and I think Cialis, like you take once and for a day of pleasure, I guess, 20 milligrams. So this is a huge one. In Mexico, now keep in mind, this is partially because in Mexico, people come down for the stuff without a prescription, and so they add some margin to it possibly, especially where I'm at. But in Mexico, $2.25 a pill, and in cost plus drugs, 24 cents. So literally, we're talking almost like a tenth of the price. Now, like I said, people come down here, get it without a prescription, and and enjoy their Cialis. But still, 24 cents. And now, if you were on like Cialis daily, if you were to cut this into like quarters or something, because it's like 5 milligrams Cialis daily, that's such a low cost per day to tackle such a significant problem. Another erectile dysfunction pill, sildenafil, which is generic for Viagra, another popular pill down here. In Mexico, you pay $1.50 for 100 milligrams of Viagra. And cost plus drugs, you pay 20 cents. So 20 cents versus $1.50. And then the medication that I am on, losartan, with HCTZ, which is basically a dual blood pressure medication. It's 100 milligrams / 25 milligrams. And so 100 milligrams of losartan, 25 milligrams of HCTZ. And this is a pretty close price. In Mexico, I'll pay 27 cents a pill. On cost plus drugs, I'll pay 24 cents a pill. So that one's tighter, but still, that's not, you don't have to go to Mexico to get it. And then keep in mind, that's with all the shipping and processing fees into it. So when you calculate all this together, to know that we have senators fighting in Congress to make it where we can import drugs from Canada and Mexico so that we can get these prices. And here Mark Cuban's kind of jumped over and got us those prices are better on his website. That to me is wonderful and almost concerning that he was able to do this and no one else has. And when you look at it, a 15% margin, That's fair. I mean, especially if you're doing a bulk amount of purchases on a website, a 15% margin, that no one's going to argue that's not a fair business model and a good business model. I've heard him say in interviews before that
The Mark Cuban Cost Plus Drugs company is the only company I've ever put my name on because this is what I want my kids to be proud of me for.
those kids should be proud of you because I think you're going to save a lot of lives. And I hope you continue to do this. I hope you continue to tackle the things that people need. I know insulin is just an insane price difference between here and between the United States and Canada. I mean, so I hope you tackle that. I hope you tackle all the drugs that make a difference in people's lives because you're doing something pretty amazing here. And what's great about it, you're doing it through just good capitalism. This isn't a nonprofit. He didn't start an NGO for us. He started a business that should be profitable. That is the way business should be done. A business for profit that helps the people of the country, provides good value, and hopefully grows. I personally want to thank Mark Cuban for doing something so incredible.